Spacefest.
Hi, YouTube. I hope this is working. Oh, good. There's some people watching. We are live. Okay, we are live at Spacefest 8. Hello, everyone. You know me. You should know me by now because you're on my YouTube channel. I'm Amy from Vintage Space, which is where you're watching this. And it's on. Thank you. Someone just told me it's on. I'm at Spacefest 8 in Tucson, Arizona, and I'm going to give you guys a bit of a lightning fast tour of what's going on here because I think this is the event that is like the best hidden gem of like all the space nerdery, and no one knows about it. So I'm gonna show you guys what it is, and I'm gonna try to introduce you to some people. I'm gonna see if I can get some astronauts to come say hello really quickly. And just a heads up, I'm definitely wandering around a conference right now with a selfie stick, looking like a total dork, with a note on it that says I'm live streaming, not a weirdo, which makes me weirdo. But my phone might pop out, so I promise I have not like crashed. But Jeff Notkin, do you want to say hello?
Definitely.
Definitely, it's Jeff Notkin.
Look out,
Hello.
there's a meteorite incoming.
Jeff Notkin, oh my God. So tell us what this is. This is Jeff Notkin, Meteorite Man, Meteorite Hunter Extraordinaire, charming, wonderful, amazing human being.
Aren't you sweet?
Thank you. Aren't you sweet? So Jeff, I should make sure the mic is picking you up. So what is this? Jeff is Meteorite Man.
We're looking at an iron meteorite that originated in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So it's traveled, just roughly 250 million miles to be here today, to be on Amy's show. Even the biggest stars will travel a long distance to guest star with Amy. So I am a meteorite hunter, researcher, specialist, and I am the president of Aerolite Meteorites. We are a commercial meteorite company. So we go out in the field, look for pieces, and we provide examples of space rocks to museums, universities, collectors all over the world. And I'm also a fellow space nut. Is that not true?
Yes, he is. And
look at my National Space Society pin
there.
Doing my little PR for NSS.
There you go. Yeah, I just bought a piece of the moon from you.
Did you?
I did, and I need you to sign the authentication card
With
thing.
pleasure.
Yes, so I'm very excited. I bought a piece of the moon, guys. I'm really excited.
Should we show your viewers an actual piece of the moon?
Yes, do you guys want to see a piece of the moon? Yay!
Could we get the cabinet open?
Can we get a little, all right, so this one over here?
Yeah, they're behind us, and one of the questions that we're frequently asked, of course, is, well, how do you know they're from the moon, and how is it legal to own them? So these are not Apollo return specimens. That's a federal offense to own them.
Yes.
And you definitely don't want to have Apollo return samples at Spacefest because most of the guys who collected them are here. And so you wouldn't want them to come out and go, that's a piece that I collected.
And then steal
in fact, Jim McDivitt stopped by yesterday and he goes, I understand you're peddling pieces of the moon. And I go, don't worry, Jim, there's no Apollo samples here. So they're lunar meteorites. They're pieces of the moon that were blasted off into space, probably by another meteorite impact on the surface of the moon, landed here. And so here, this is the largest piece in our inventory at the moment, an actual fragment of the moon, ladies and gentlemen, at Spacefest.
It's awesome.
Oh, the happy irony. And if you were to slice that...
This is what I bought. I bought a smaller slice, but I bought a slice.
Very good selection. So this is a breccia, and a breccia is a rock that's made up of fragments of other rocks, showing the proliferation of impacts on the surface of the moon. We can tell that from the angular shards. So one of the things that we like to do is to take a piece of this. We sign it out, of course, if we're going to do this, but walk outside under the night sky and hold it up to the moon and go, look, that came from there.
That's awesome.
It's one of the little games we play in Meteorite Land.
Nerds. Because I'm not a nerd.
Oh, really?
I know.
Well recognized.
I know. Cool. So can people buy your stuff? I'm going to peddle you.
Oh,
I'm going to peddle your wares.
Well,
Where can people buy
it.
your stuff? Your Aerolite Meteorites.
We are. It's Aerolite,
Mm-hmm.
and aerolite is an archaic British word for meteorite. That is the origin of our company name. So we're aerolite.org and aerolitemeteorites.com. And if you want to say hello, I'm very active on social media.
He is.
Anything at Jeff Notkin.
Jeff Notkin.
GeoffNotkin. I'm also one of her biggest fans and one of her original fans.
I know, it's true. I think
yes.
we met for the first time at Spacefest
we did.
4 or 5 years ago, and you gave me your book, and you inscribed it. I just met you as to my new friend Amy, and I was just like, oh, I love Jeff. and then I'm friends with Jeff.
And things come full circle. And last year you inscribed your book to me.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Did you read the acknowledgements to my
I
book?
did. I was so flattered to be mentioned in your book in the thank yous.
Yes, you are in there. You are in there.
Along with the mighty Phil Plate.
I know. The two of you have meant a lot to me in my career.
Well, same here. Awesome. I was just jazzed to A, be in your book, and B, be mentioned in the same sentence as Phil. Can't get much cooler
Phil,
nerdland than that.
Who's not coming to Spacefest ever again. I don't know where Phil is.
He's busy.
I met him. We're all busy.
He's been writing a show for a guy you might have heard of called Bill Nye.
I'm aware.
I know, I'm just teasing you.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah,
I know.
Thanks for showing off some moon rocks.
Well, now you should go talk to the people who collected the other ones.
We're gonna go do a lightning tour of all the astronauts and
Wonderful.
see who I can get to wave at me.
Okay. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Jeff.
Safe travels.
All right, that's Jeff. Guys, Jeff is awesome, and he's got all kinds of amazing things that you can get. So, Spacefest. There's a huge proportion of Spacefest that is also art. So I can show you a little bit behind me. There's amazing artists who do just amazing space art. I don't know if I can back on up into this. I feel like I'm gonna hit somebody, but you can kind of see who is this. Who is this? Rick Sternbach. So yeah, amazing space art. So you can collect all kinds of insane things. Like it can show you Jeff's other collections, the amount of meteorites and things that are all for sale. There's his crew, including the massive ones down here. If you want to own the biggest piece of the moon ever. And there's Matt. Does Matt want to come say hi? Hi, Matt.
Hi, Internet.
Oh, my mic is over here, but that's okay. Anyways, this is Matt, who some of you may have seen. He will be on the Punk Rocker Moonstomper podcast before long. He is a space nerd and math teacher extraordinaire and writer of very good children's books, which I will actually be auctioning or doing a giveaway for very soon. So stay tuned if you have kids age, 8 to 12?
12 to 15.
12 to 15? I feel like smart 8-year-olds would get it, though. I might have edited the book, so I might be biased. All right. So we've got, I don't know, this is super weird, guys. This is super weird because I don't know who's going to, think I'm a total nut bar, but Dave Scott is here. We've got Dave Scott. Oh, we've got people photobombing me in the background. So Dave Scott, from Gemini 8, Apollo 9 and Apollo 15. It's always a little bit insane and kind of feels a little bit starstruck to be standing in a room with all these people, and they're all the astronauts. Okay, so the way this works, the astronauts are all here, and they'll do signings and things, which is awesome, and you're cool to... Oh, no, don't worry about it. I'm live streaming this way. It's totally fine. You're free to go. No, I'm facing this way.
Vintage Space.
Thank you. You want to say hi to Vintage Space? Hi, you're on Vintage Space. We're live streaming on Vintage Space.
I'm her number one fan. I don't have a cat, so my views are not as good as hers are. So she knows how to do this right. So AST Vintage Space on Twitter, Vintage Space on Facebook. She's awesome. Her name is Amy.
Vintage Space, guys.
She is awesome.
Thanks. It's the only place in the world too that I see you guys, and it's super weird. The astronauts will do signings, and it's great because they'll come chat with you, and most of them are totally awesome. Teaser. I'm not going to tell you guys the punchline to this one, but I asked Mike Collins about his underwear for the sake of Vintage Space today. Yay, video's going up next week, hopefully. So the thing is, when they're busy and talking to people, I don't want to interrupt them and ask them to say hi to the internet. But I will discreetly swing by and show you Jim McDivitt, who is behind me right now. There's Jim McDivitt from Apollo 9. Jim and Gemini 4, of course. Jim McDivitt is awesome. Jim McDivitt is like a total firecracker. I'm always amazed at his energy and enthusiasm, and I think there's an old video, or at least an old blog that I did, where I talked about the time that he schooled me in how I wrote about orbital rendezvous wrong, and I have this amazing picture of him giving me a lesson in orbital rendezvous. So all the astronauts kind of end up in this big, long line. So you can kind of go down the line and get all your autographs and talk to people. So you can kind of see behind me, that this is just a long row of astronauts. So we're going to go down the line and see who we can't get a hold of. Charlie Walker is here. This is super weird. Hi, how are you? Would you like to say hello to the internet?
Hello, Internet.
All right, Charlie Walker. I'm just putting the mic near you. So why don't you tell us who you are and what you've done and why you're live to about 756 people, but it'll be in perpetuity for a long time. So
Charlie Walker, and you can't yet see all the mission patches behind me, but I'm a space flyer 3 times aboard Space Shuttle. the first industrial astronaut, the first paying working passenger in space, doing bioprocessing, pharmaceutical and medical technology research back in the mid-'80s aboard space shuttle missions.
Yep. That's to put it
And I've read
simply.
this lady's wonderful book. So
You did.
yes,
You did read it?
well, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know you.
It's
I
been
know
a year
I signed
since
it.
last
I
year,
know you
so-
signed it for me. I don't know. It's still.
And I've seen you. You've been on TV,
I have been
Talking
on
Head,
TV.
doing some expert
I do
commentary.
a lot of those.
Good.
It's always like, okay, it's a total trip for me to be here anyways. But then
Good.
to hear that someone like you was actually read my book, awesome. I hope you liked it.
Good work. You're writing something now.
I am working on my second book right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Teaser.
Teaser. Without giving away the details, Mercury 13 and Women in Space.
Bingo.
Yes. So
Good.
it should be good. I'm giving the talk tomorrow.
All right.
So,
Have Eileen make a comment about it.
I know. I need to go meet her. And
you
also,
do.
there's two of the Mercury 13 here.
Yes.
And of course.
And of course,
doing a
Dee
signing.
O'Hara's here too.
I know.
So,
I
yeah.
met her last year, just at the cocktail party before the dinner, and she just came up to me and said, "I love your dress," and we just ended up. Ooh, we have volunteers.
We
that
have
that.
Jeremiah here, who has been gracious enough to ask me every hour.
No,
That's
don't
all
worry
right,
about it.
dude. Be on the internet.
Say
Jeremiah,
hi to the
say hi to the internet. I don't need anything right now. Thanks, Jeremiah.
They're so nice. They're so
they're
sweet.
great. They're great.
Yeah, and just to have a casual chat with Dee O'Hara about how she's somehow an old picture of Dick Gordon came up, and she's like, "Yeah, he was handsome." And then we ended up talking to Dick Gordon about how he used to be handsome.
How he used to be
this
handsome.
is the weirdest conversation I've ever had. But thank you, Spacefest. Anyways, I will leave you be off the internet, but I'll come say hello after.
All right,
I'd
please
love to
do.
chat. I
All
haven't
right.
been down this road
Goodbye,
yet.
y'all.
Bye, internet.
Enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you. I'll come back. We've got, okay, see guys, Spacefest is awesome. This is why you should be here, because you get to hang out with astronauts who apparently have read your book, and it's wild. We've got Vance Brand doing a signing behind me, so I don't want to interrupt. Vance Brand, of course, Apollo Soyuz was the one that is sort of stands out to everybody. And Bruce McCandless. Hi. Let's see if we can say hi to Bruce McCandless. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. Would you mind saying hello to the internet for me? I'm doing a live stream of Spacefest to show people what they're missing by not being here. Bruce McCandless, everybody, I'm going to come lean down. Bruce McCandless, you were this is just the microphone, I just wanted to try to pick you up. You were the astronaut in that famous picture where, do you have it here or do you have it here? The one where you're floating in the MMU.
Yes, that's
What,
correct.
354 feet away from the shuttle?
It was about 100 yards.
100 yards. So that's about,
I saw a 324-foot number, but I really wouldn't put any confidence other than about 100 yards.
you use yards, not meters, when you're measuring things? What is with American
I have
measurements?
been accustomed to estimating
Yeah,
things
yeah,
in
fair.
yards to the extent of the accuracy
Right.
that we had.
Right.
It's probably not too much of a breach to call it 100 meters
Yeah.
as well. It's an approximate distance.
Meters isn't a yard.
The point is that I went out that far, was able to stop,
Yeah.
and stabilize my relative position, and then come back in.
And did you get a chance to turn around and look at the blackness of space and realize, oh my God, I'm in a spacesuit 100 meters or 100 yards from the nearest safety,
I
and
obviously-
take in that moment?
I obviously did perceive the blackness of space,
Yeah.
but to be honest with you, I was fairly well focused on the shuttle itself,
Yep.
because that was my reference for position and
Yeah.
attitude and everything.
Which makes sense. I'm always amazed that none of you guys ever say, yes, it was terrifying.
No, I was really quite comfortable, other than being cold.
Really?
It was very cold at that distance inside the suit.
Interesting. I would have thought they would have had a lot of.
That's right.
I would have thought they'd have heating elements and everything to make
No,
sure you
the,
weren't cold.
The pressure
Or just
suit and the
not-
life support system
yeah.
were designed to keep you cool in a warm
yeah.
environment when you're working. I was in a cool
you weren't
environment
working.
and was not doing much physical
Right.
work, using my fingertips
that.
for controlling the MMU.
Well, interesting. There you go, guys.
Yeah, and Ruth Gibson over there was the photographer that took those
Right.
pictures.
Right. Ooh, maybe we'll try to grab him next. Thank you for saying
Okay.
hello. And
My pleasure.
I'm going to come back once I'm not live on the internet, because I know
Okay.
you worked on Dinosaur,
Okay.
and I'm fascinated by Dinosaur. I want to come talk to you when I'm
Okay.
done. Cheers. Thank you so much. Guys, Bruce McCandless, come on. You want to be here. You should be at this amazing event. All right, let's see who else we can potentially nab for half a second. Oh, it's Dick Gordon. Hi, it's Walt Cunningham. Let's see if we can say hi to Walt Cunningham. Hi, Walt.
Hi, Walt Cunningham.
Would you mind saying hello to my YouTube channel? We're live on the internet right now. Would you mind saying I'm gonna come see you? We've met a couple times. I wrote the section of Don Isley's memoirs.
Oh, which
Yes.
section did you write?
The historical overview
On Isley's?
on Isley's
book
in
is just
Apollo
out now?
Pilot. Yeah.
But how much of that was wording from Don's notes and stuff? Because it didn't seem, I have to tell you, it didn't seem as accurate as this.
Oh. From in the memoirs?
Yeah, yes, in the memoir.
Oh, that's all Francis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see, it
Right,
didn't
right.
read like Don.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I think what happened, sorry, I've got a video coming up about this too, but Don
Hello.
Isley wrote memoirs. Walt Cunningham of Apollo 7, guys.
Hello, how are you doing?
So this is my YouTube channel. I do a YouTube channel. It's all about it's vintage space. It's all old-timey space things, and I wanted to show the people who couldn't be here what they're missing by not being here. So
They're missing a lot of old people.
yeah, but no, they're missing a lot of rock stars is what they're missing. You guys, I had this conversation, I think it was Jerry Griffin and Chuck Dietrich and Jerry Bostick and Dutch von Ehrenfried last year were discussing whether they were geeks or nerds. And I forget who, but someone said, back in my day we didn't have words geeks or nerds. And I jumped in and said, if I may, gentlemen, you are all badasses.
That's right. That's
These
more
guys are
accurate.
all
That's more accurate than geeks or nerds.
Yes, absolutely.
But in my day also, everybody was a fighter pilot,
Yep,
and that's a different attitude if you're a fighter pilot.
absolutely. So,
And you're not willing to. If you're not going to get any place in life unless you're willing to stick your necks out a little.
words of wisdom from Walt Cunningham. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I won't take more of your time, but I will come and say hello to you later.
Okay. thanks.
Because I do want to talk to you more about Apollo Pilot.
Okay.
Yeah, see what you really think. Thank you. Walt Cunningham, guys. See, this is why this is so fun. This is why this is so great. Let's see if we can. So Dick, we've got Dick Gordon behind me, but I think he's super busy. And Jack Lausma's here and super busy. Hi. And Al Warden was usually here, but he's super busy and gone. And Charlie Duke is behind me. Hello. Would you like to say hi to the internet? I'm live on my YouTube channel right now. I wanted to do this to show people that can't be at Spacefest why they should be at Spacefest. So I'm going down the line. Guys, it's Charlie Duke from Apollo 16. I'm just going to put this up because it's the microphone. So say hi to Charlie Duke, everyone. Hi, Charlie Duke.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good,
How are you?
good to be here. Thanks for coming. Yeah, it's a lot of
So,
fun.
I recently I had something that I wanted to ask you about because I recently read the Apollo 16 transcript because I live tweet missions on their 45th anniversaries because I want to share it in real time so people understand that it wasn't a quick thing that happened. It was a lot of boredom, a lot of downtime, and a lot of housekeeping punctuated by some amazingness of being on the moon. You guys had the problem of the hot mic.
Yeah.
And the infamous, perhaps infamous issue of discussing flatulence on the moon. Is that, did you like, how much were you aware of sort of watching your tongue when you were talking? Just in case you had a hot mic.
We didn't use any profanity on the. And normally, just talking around, none of us were that way. We didn't have a foul mouth, but it turned out that we had a problem with the potassium in orange juice that created some major problems in the spacecraft and with body functions, and ended up we started talking about it, and it got pretty crude, and we were really embarrassed.
What I noticed in the transcript is the amazing ways that you managed to talk about it very politely.
Yeah.
I think it was right after launch. I can't remember who said it, but someone said the winds are blowing again. And I
Right.
just thought that was the best euphemism ever. And there's a great moment. I Ken Mattingly was alone in the CM at the time and just dropped something, which of course floated away. And his moment to himself was, "God dang it!"
Yeah.
You guys are adorable. And also, we all learned about your fondness for rice pudding.
Yeah.
On that mission.
Rice pudding?
Yeah, was it rice pudding?
Not me.
Or was it
No, grits.
Grits.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I'm not Southern. I don't know my grits from my porridge.
Well, I was the
exactly.
first guy to take grits to the moon.
Was that a personal preference thing? Were you
Yeah,
for grits?
yeah. They didn't have grits on the menu,
Yeah.
but I told our dietitian, I said, "Give me some grits." So it took about 2 weeks to get them to be right, but
Really?
turned out okay. So
Well, good. Were they good?
On the way to the moon, they were really good,
Yeah.
but on the moon, we didn't have any hot water.
Yeah,
so
of course,
cold
of
grits
course.
weren't any good, so
That
I didn't like
sounds
them. Awful.
Yeah. Well, fond food. I'm always amazed by the food that you guys eat.
Yeah.
And the food commentary gets very interesting on this mission.
Yeah, well, in shuttle and space station, they have a
Yeah.
lot better stuff than we had.
For sure.
Most of ours were dehydrated, though we had peanut butter and jelly and some bread and stuff like that. but,
Anything that doesn't make crumbs.
not really.
Yeah.
No. Some things. We had an experimental can of fruit that was.
Oh,
and
you were
we
testing
popped-
Skylab.
Yeah,
food,
Skylab,
weren't you?
and we popped that can,
Yeah.
and peach juice went everywhere in the
That's what you
spacecraft.
want.
So
That's what you want.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty messy. Took a
Sticky,
while to
gross
clean
mess.
it up.
Oh, and the other thing that was my favorite about you on that mission was when your suit, you were having issues with the zipper on your suit. 'Cause
Yeah,
it had,
right,
You,
on the way to
you
the moon.
expanded a little bit, or you kind of,
You grow up,
decompressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
In
and,
zero gravity.
Yeah, the issue that, I forget who was on Capcom at the time, but said, well, we thought about it, and we smoked about it, and we think you should do nothing unless it becomes an issue. And I love that they smoked about it.
Yeah.
That was such an interestingly tiny indicative
Well,
of
if
the
you
time.
watch the things in Mission Control, it was full of cigarette smoke. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody worried about it in those days.
I know, different
second-hand
era, but-
smoke. I
Well,
never smoked, but they
Yeah.
didn't bother me
Yep.
anyway. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you didn't have suit issues on the moon, so.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for saying hi to the
Yeah.
internet. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Adios, everybody. Thumbs up. Let's fly me to the moon.
All right. Charlie Duke. Okay. Let's see who else we can. Hey. Hi. Do you want to say hi to the internet? I'm doing a live stream on my YouTube channel. We've got a flight director. All right.
To come around or?
Nope, I'm just going to pull this up near your mouth because it's just because that's the microphone. Just this one. I'm just going to hold it up towards you so that you're.
Okay.
Yeah. Jerry Griffin. Oh, the lighting here is very awkward. Jerry Griffin was Apollo flight director on Apollos 12, 15, and 17. Those are the words. And my favorite moment from you has to be the lightning strike.
It was.
And I recently covered that. So. Do you want to just recount for our audience here what that was like? I mean, this was your first mission as lead flight director.
That's right. It's my first mission as a launch flight director. And we had been airborne for less than a minute, and all of a sudden everything went blank in the control center, and a lot of static on the radio. And we didn't know what had happened at all. And a young flight controller named John Aaron figured out that maybe we ought to try SCE to aux, which is signal conditioning equipment to the auxiliary position.
Mm-hmm.
But of course we didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Because when he said SCE to aux, I said, what? And he repeated it, so I told the Capcom, it was Jerry Carr, SCE to aux, and Jerry said, what? And then I repeated it for him, and so he sent up to the crew, told Pete Conrad, go SCE to aux. And Conrad's response was, what the hell is that? So it was a little known switch that as soon as John Aaron flipped it on, or called it, and Al Bean flipped it, we got our data back.
Came back.
And then it was actually the commander, Pete Conrad, suggested, he said, I think we may have been hit by lightning because he saw a flash.
Right.
And sure enough, that's what it turned out to be.
Yeah.
Thank goodness the Saturn had a computer called the IU, instrument unit. It was under control of the trajectory, and it was right on.
Yeah.
So although I was thinking to myself, I may have to call an abort the first time ever in manned spaceflight. all of this happened in a few seconds.
Yeah.
But I knew we were on the right track.
Yeah.
So it all ended up just fine.
Yeah.
And we went on to the moon.
Yep. I mean, that would have been kind of horrible if your first mission as launch flight director, lead flight director, you have to call the first abort in the history of manned space flight.
Believe
That
me,
would
I
have been-
thought about that.
Did you have a moment of hesitation of like, let's see if this is okay before I do anything? I mean, I know there's always a story of Pete had his hand on the abort switch and didn't pull it.
Didn't pull it.
I mean, you must have had the equivalent of you had your finger on the proverbial trigger and didn't pull it.
Yeah, and one of the things you learn in space flight, just like flying high-performance airplanes, when you have a problem, unless you're going to eject, in this case abort, don't get in too big a hurry because you got to understand what you got if you can before you do anything with it. And we stuck it out, got into orbit, checked everything out, looked okay, and we said, let's go to the moon.
Yep.
And did you know, after that was one of it was probably the cleanest flight after that we had. But it was a horrendous start.
Do you think it's because you just got all your nerves? I mean, not that a rocket has nerves, but like all the bad stuff out of the way early, and then everything was smooth
that's
sailing.
what I like.
Was it an amazing crew under amazing direction of your leadership?
Well, of course, that was there, but actually, it was a terrific, and as you know, everything in spaceflight is teamwork.
Yeah.
And we had people all over the country helping us in just a few minutes. Try to figure out what we had.
Yeah.
And but once we got the data back, and once we knew the trajectory was okay, we were going to head for Earth orbit and calm it down, slow it down, where things were a little slower and a little calmer, and so it was fine. But it was, like I say, a very clean mission after that, but not a very nice start.
No, but ended well. So and as you know, it's my favorite.
It landed right by the surveyor.
So good. Oh,
And
such a good
they got pieces off of it and brought it home, and no, it was good.
So all in all, I mean, a good flight for your first in control.
Yep, you bet.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
I won't put you on the spot any longer. Thanks for saying hi to the audience, Jerry.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
We've got 1.1 thousand, but it's going to live forever on the internet. So.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, thank you. I will come say hello later.
Okay.
All right. Have a great.
See you later.
All right, guys. Jerry is awesome, you guys. He's such a badass. He's awesome. Speaking of Apollo 12, let's see if we can sneak in and say hello to Dick Gordon. It's Dick Gordon, guys. Just gonna see if I can. Hello.
Tuna fish sandwiches.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tuna fish sandwiches. Would you like to say?
Are you still making them? You still doing that?
Yes, I am. I'm currently live to 1.2 thousand people. Do you want to say hello?
No.
No.
1.2 thousand people.
Internet. My YouTube channel. I'm doing a live stream to show people what they're missing by not being at Spacefest. Because why would you not come to Spacefest? Want to say hi?
You want me to really say hello?
If you want.
Why aren't you something like, why aren't you coming to Spacefest?
Why aren't you coming to Spacefest? Whatever you want. Let's see what Dick Gordon has to say. Because my audience knows how. I mean, I've done videos about you. They know my cat is Pete Conrad. They know that I love you guys. So, want to say
Who's your
hi?
favorite?
Obviously, you.
You lied.
Look at this face. Look at this face. Are you kidding me? I have pictures of me. Do you remember the first time I met you? You had me sit on your lap for a picture, and I still put that picture on the internet all the time.
You do.
I do.
Why?
Because I absolutely adore you. You're my favorite.
You gotta be kidding me. Hello, we're looking good.
Look, I know we're looking
What are you
good.
doing here at Spacefest 8? Why aren't you at Spacefest 8?
Guys,
You should be here.
You should be at Spacefest 8. Come on, guys.
Don't you agree? I agree.
Absolutely agree.
There are a lot of us. We're having fun. We're meeting lots of people.
There's amazing people here, guys.
Well, I'm seeing old friends at least maybe once a year.
Yep.
And we're doing that right now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Good seeing you again,
Good to see you too. I have no food questions this time. Although I did ask Mike Collins about his underwear.
What about his what?
There's a moment in the Apollo 11 transcript where Neil Armstrong says to Mike Collins, "Mike, are you ready for your underwear? Are you ready for your underwear? Are you ready for your underwear?" And there's no context. Apparently, I don't want to spoil the surprise for my audience, but
don't you know that
I got a very technical answer to it.
Don't you know that Pete and Al became the first space streakers?
Yes.
You knew that
I
story?
remember that story.
Okay, you got
I've
it.
told you. I've read your transcript. I know all the weird details, but space streakers. See, guys, you should be here to talk about space streakers with Dick Gordon. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Alrighty, guys. Let's see who else we can rope into. And there's authors here is the other thing. Is the other good people who are here. Sorry, scanning the room. I know it's not interesting when I scan the room live on the internet, but hi. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of things going on. Let's see what's over here. Fred Hayes was here. Joe Engel was here. Guys, Joe Engel. Oh, Fred Hayes is over there. I don't want to bug him while he's working, but Fred Hayes in the blue shirt behind me. Hey, Fred Hayes. Hello. I'm live on the internet.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello. These are friends. Everybody.
Hi.
Say hi to the Vintage Space audience. We've got 1.2 thousand people. 1,200 people watching. Yay, I can numbers. I'm trying to show everyone what they're missing by not being at Spacefest.
Right, they're missing an exciting time here.
It's so good, guys. Buzz, I just saw someone say Buzz. Buzz is not here, but this is going to be...
Place to be. All right.
Mark is the official photographer. So now all of my nerdery, I'm 100% walking around an event with a selfie stick, guys. Now that is going to be on the internet forever. So more of the amazing art. No, don't worry about it. I'm doing a live stream and it's facing me, so you're totally fine. Oh, the art, we've got Al Bean's art is here. So Al Bean is usually here but couldn't make it this year, unfortunately, but all of his art is here. And the other thing I feel like I should show you guys, just so you have a sense of like what's happening here, there's all this like booth of pictures that you can go buy to get things signed. So that you don't have to come with like your own stuff, you can buy pictures, and I might have got a couple this year. But all of those pictures that you guys see in the background of my videos, all of the autographs and stuff, these are all from Spacefest, and they're pretty incredible. All right, who else is like kicking around? And the problem is everybody's doing stuff and talking to people and signing things. So it's hard to get to everybody, but let's see if there's anyone kicking around on the hallway. I think this might be it. Because the other thing that happens, there's always, of course, okay, so there's astronauts doing all the signings. There's people just hanging out, selling art, selling books. I've done a bunch of book signings. There's also talks and panels. So I'm doing a talk in an hour and then one tomorrow as well. So we're in as you guys can see, we're in a conference center. Sorry, this just got really, really jiggly as I'm walking. Eventually I will get one of those gyroscoping things that holds it steady. But behind me is where all the talks and all the panels are, and the book signing booth, which is kind of fun. I've been sitting there a fair bit today. Yes, for those of you who don't know, shameless self-promotion, I do have a book out. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone else super neat to grab who's not super busy right now is the problem. But the best thing about Spacefest, if you go to like the receptions or sort of the dinners and things, you just have like cocktail hour with astronauts. I mean, literally last year I just met Dee O'Hara because she really liked my dress, and we ended up talking about weird things and just totally normal, like what it was like to be the one woman working with a bunch of men in the 60s and all of her kind of amazing experiences, and just totally casually chatting about it, and it was so great. And these are the kinds of conversations you end up having here, because you're just in a room drinking a beer and just all of a sudden you're next to Dave Scott and you just start saying something and you just go on and everything's perfect and amazing and awesome. There's also a lot of like STEM education stuff here. If you are an educator or parent, there's all kinds of really cool things. Spacefest. I think that's it. This has been 33 minutes. so I don't want to keep going forever. I also have stuff that I have to go do, like books to sign and talks to prepare for. So I'm going to go do that. But if anything really, really cool happens tomorrow or later today, I will be taking videos of it and trying to put something more polished than this together. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream from Spacefest 8 in Tucson. There will be related content. Like you heard me say to Dick Gordon, I did ask Mike Collins about his underwear, and it was totally professional and hilarious. So there will be videos coming about this stuff, and yeah, until then, just look for updates on Twitter and on Instagram. You guys know where to follow me. I'm AST Vintage Space, and of course, be sure to come back here. New proper episodes going up every week, and occasional weird live streams. Oh, and guys, I got a Saturn V Lego kit. Wait, Chris, come say hi. Chris, here's Chris. I met Chris yesterday.
Hello.
There's Chris. He is a fan. He's wonderful and amazing. And guys, he donated a Lego Saturn V to the cause of Vintage Space. So I will be doing a live build. I hear it takes like 30 hours.
With Pete.
So with Pete. So I will be doing a live build over like many days potentially, but that's gonna come too. So if you want to catch all of that, be sure to subscribe and leave me your questions, comments, thoughts, all the things in the comment section below. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go.
Come to Spacefest.
Come to Spacefest. It's the best thing that no one knows exists. So come. So
It really is.
See, right, guys? It's awesome. All right, I will see you guys around the internet. Have a good rest of the. Ooh, that's right by the camera. Have a good rest of the day.